Don't panic. Don't despair. Don't fear. We shall persevere. Welcome to JMO Pirate Radio. Before I get started, I would like to say thank you to everyone out there who has inspired me, who at this time, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of rumor, conjecture, false truths, and then, to be honest, the truth that we're all living in is very scary. It's very scary. It terrifies me a little bit, but not in the point where I'm like freaking out or anxiety. More or less, like, this is pushing me to do something that I've been talking about for a long time, and I've been discussing with people for a long time. And I think now it's moving me into a realm where I'm like, okay, I'm not just doing this for y'all, but I'm doing this for myself. And I'm not just doing this for myself, but I'm also doing this for y'all. Meaning, I think we need to be sharing more right now. At this place and time in human existence, we can really talk. And we can really be present without actually being present. We can be two places at once. Meaning, within this technology, I don't know where you are getting this. I don't know when you're getting this. But today, I am sitting here to deliver you some motivation. Not talking politics, only motivation. And I guess some peace of mind. I have a few things. I've been taking notes from this week, just from the conversations I've been having with my family, friends, loved ones, and even strangers, or even our neighbors. I've been having some great conversations with my neighbors. Currently, right now, I'm in San Francisco, California, and we are under a lockdown. What does that mean? Well, excuse me. I live in a dorm. I live in a dorm because I'm in grad school, so I'm surrounded by my peers. We're all artists or faculty working at an art school. So, and I'm very social. I'm not closeted in, just so you know, if this is the first time you're listening to me, I'm not a closeted in person. I'm very social. I'll just walk up and talk to you. So the fact that now I'm seeing neighbors who I haven't got to see very often, or people that I didn't even know lived in the building, or last week we were on spring break, thankfully, because if all of this was going on right in the middle of my semester, which sadly I know for a lot of you out there that's happening, I feel for you, because the fact that the shit hit the fan literally like the first day of spring break, or almost, that was when it hit the fan for me, because that's when they locked my studio down. That's when I started to really just sit back, and that's when I got hit. And I know that it sounds very selfish, and that is a very selfish thing, because I was just thinking about myself at the time, because it's like, all right, I know my friends are taken care of, I know the people I love are taken care of, they're fine, but then what am I going to be able to do this next week? And the answer to that is nothing. I did absolutely nothing. I did nothing, but let me explain. Our city is being quarantined, and right now there's just the streets are very empty. The stores are closed, other than things for construction and groceries, and I guess any other business that can fall between a loophole. And restaurants are still open, but they're only doing carry out and delivery, which there's pros and cons to that. And being in such a tech savvy place, it's kind of interesting how this is affecting us, rather than, if I would say, back home, which is in Virginia. A lockdown would be severe. Shoot. And thank goodness there's no guns. This is the first time I've ever, and I'm not like super gun anything, and this whole podcast is not going to be political, but the fact that in San Francisco right now, I feel more comfortable in a lockdown knowing that it's not like Virginia. You know what I'm saying? Virginia's open carry, so it's kind of different. But from where I live at, and I live in the Tenderloin, shit get real. So I'm not going to act like I'm not okay with that, because it does play with your mind a little bit. When you're in your room all day, I can understand this. You guys are doing it right now. You really getting to know yourself. You're starting to pay attention to things differently, and your family, your friends, and your loved ones, your interactions. You're just like, I spend this much time doing X, Y, and Z. Your schedule starts to get to mapped out. You start to see your human patterns. And that's what I'm really loving about what's going on, because I'm learning about myself. In this scary moment of human history, I'm learning about myself, and I'm learning about my friends, to the point where I'm like, oh, my friends are my friends. I really love my family. And we have much more in common with the average Joe than we expect, but we just don't talk to each other enough. But I make a lot of shit all the time. I'm not going to go off into that whole rivaling thing, because this isn't about me. This is a new medium for me, so I'm just trying to use it appropriately to outreach with my community. You know, just as a little bit of a background, my sister is actually the first person who really inspired me to do any sort of radio thing ever, because she was a mass comm major in undergrad, and she used to work at the radio at Virginia State University. And so she would like work and get to meet the people that came in for, it's a HBCU, so it's black radios, that type of style. And that's my first real learning about it, other than just everybody's interaction within radio. And my favorite part about radio is, throughout the human history since it's been invented, and get this, another one of those things, radio communications was used for military use. And people always want to talk about everything like GPS or, what other multiple technologies. Even the internet was made for military use, but look at us now. Look at us now. Within humans being foolish and killing each other, we've created crazy technologies that bring us close together in a pandemic. I don't know. I don't want to go down too far in those rabbit holes, but I just like to think about this kind of stuff when I'm talking. But the whole pirate radio aspect right now, I don't even know if I'll keep that title, but it was a way that rebels, or even just like anybody could be on the radio. Like, the radio is kind of like the original internet in that way, where anyone could who had the materials and the equipment and the power, and that wasn't going to get cut off. I'm trying to remember the actual pirate radio. It's a movie about it, and let me see if I can look it up really quick, just so I can give you guys the whole script. But it's this movie, and it was called Pirate Radio, and I'm definitely thinking it's about World War II. I'm definitely thinking it is, and the cast, and it's like based on a true story, and it's all this about like how it was like rock and roll, and I think they were just like a record store or something, and they just wanted to keep the music playing rather than only listening to the war, and like numerous times they kept trying to shut them down. And I'm not saying that my position is that valiant, because at the same time, I don't even know if I'm going to do music within this. One, because of how things are, streaming, monetization, and I'm not monetizing this. I'm just going to say that at point two. I want this to be a free, open space. I'm going to use this to help promote not only myself, but my friends and the shows. I work with a few galleries around town, and I'm always trying to get the word out about the stuff that I'm going to or stuff like that. And to be honest, I hate just sending out a flyer because, to be honest, now with emails and all of this shit, you can get 1,000 fucking flyers a day. And I'm like, how the fuck are you going to interpret all of that? But sometimes if you get things in a different medium over top, this is just something that I'm just like, this is something that I think has been missing in my life. Quick reminders in this time of crisis. Don't be a jerk. Call your mom or any non-toxic family member or relationships. De-stress at all costs. And remember to love yourself. It's something that I think has been missing in my life, and it's kind of missing in the community. Like who's the voice on the horn, and who's the guy with his ear to the ground? Who's the voice on the horn, and who's got their ear to the ground? Because that's important. Sometimes usually that person is not the same person. You got the guy with ear to the ground, and he always talks to the person on the horn. And that middleman or that interaction, what is that? That's not necessary at this point. If you know what you know, and you know how to get to the right people. And getting to the right people is probably one of the most important plays in my entire career or in my entire life. Like not necessarily like you don't gotta be friends with them. You don't gotta like if they're submissive or abusive or whatever, you can get out of those relationships. But the opportunities that come with getting to the right person, you take it, you jump at it, then you move on. Because then you made it happen for yourself. And you don't always gotta get in bed with people, especially in this business. And the art business is a fickle one because it's full of emotions and unexpectations, black humor, and history. Pirate Radio 2009, Richard Curtis. Yeah, man, this was such a great movie. Such a great movie. If you have any time right now, you should definitely check this movie out because it's just like it changed my life when I was a kid, and I've always loved radio. I've just hearing the voice coming out of the box, and now it's the voice coming out of the screen. I was just thinking, as a little sidetrack, now I'm gonna get to the a more directed message. My cell phone fell through the rungs of my bed the other day, and I was just like, dog, I got a supercomputer that can slip through the rungs of my bed. Wow. That's amazing. Like, that's better than Star Trek. Like, my supercomputer is thin enough and slick enough to slide through the rungs of my bed. That's cool. And my bed rungs aren't that wide. Like, you know what I mean? Just as a point of reference. Make sure you're getting enough protein, citrus, sun, fresh air, and social access. Shout out to my friends, my homies out in Oakland, my mom in Arizona, and my sister in Chicago. And last but not least, Virginia.